The first Kingdom Come Deliverance II Dev Livestream is in the books. And there were some interesting bits that I want to highlight. Let's talk about it.
KCD2 will not have Denuvo in there or not have any DRM system at all.
So right out of the gate, the most important piece of information, no DRMs of any kind. Great news, especially since Warhorse is now owned by PlayOn, which in turn is owned by Embracer. So these decisions are unfortunately no longer made by just a single entity. Multiple people are involved. So really happy that it went Warhorse's way. Also, another positive thing. No DRM means that the game is not going to get slowed down as much, because DRM does that. It slows down gameplay. So that is good news for people with lesser hardware, such as myself. That brings up to the next topic, the system requirements. The game looks amazing, and the draw distance, if you look past the houses to the countryside, is very noticeable. The game is running at 80 to 90 FPS on the test PC, which we do not have the specs of. KCD1 had major issues inside the cities, so this is good news. Another piece of good information comes in the form of this submission by Tobi.
I personally at home play on a 3050, I think, and it runs butterly smooth.
This is excellent because the 3050 is a lower end card. The system requirements are reported to come out towards the end of the year, so we will get a proper idea what kind of hardware we need to properly run this game. However, they do say that we're going to be pleasantly surprised by the amount of hardware that this game is going to run on. It is also abundantly clear that the animations are turned up a notch with the motion capturing, camera movements, and finally the face capturing that was done as well. The emotions are clear as day and the faces move naturally, whereas in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, they would sometimes look flat in comparison.
Yield. Niemals.
This footage is all captured on an older build from August, so there's going to be a couple of inconsistencies and weirdness going on that are probably going to be fixed towards the end of the cycle when the game releases in February next year.
Wunderbar, Heinrich.
Was haben wir denn hier? I see the Kuttenberg Bruderschaft has made a challenge to combat.
So, I see you have endlich worked
Magic.
up the courage.
Another thing I note was the highlight of the Kuttenberg Map and Game. We get an idea of how massive the city truly is in comparison with Ratai, which is essentially just a single street. Warhorse had already shown us the entire city map with some of the surrounding land. If you superimpose the Ratai map, you really get a sense of how much bigger Kuttenberg really is. It looks like the Kuttenberg map is not even 1/12 of the full-sized map here, so just imagine the amount of content we'll be able to play through. Speaking of that, during this dev livestream, they said there's going to be about 80 to 100 hours of content without DLC, so we're going to get our groschens worth here. The combat was highlighted as well. The directional star has 4 sides. The right, top, and left are directions, and the bottom is actually the stab now. So they effectively reduced the 6 options we had in the first game to just 4. The fighting animations look smooth, and I especially like the way the blades deflect off each other now. The slow motion on block is gone now, making a more fluid gameplay experience. The Persuasion System is pretty straightforward, although a bit more in depth from the previous game, with speech, charisma, might, coercion, domination, and dread shaping the conversations you're having with others. And the reputation with the person you are talking to also matters. Some decisions are timed. So you essentially can't just pause the game, look up what you need to say, and then come back to it. Very sneaky, Warhorse. Very sneaky. Talking about sneaky, lockpicking makes a return, and judging by the way things are looking, it seems way more smooth here than it was in the previous game. Crime and punishment is a thing, and you have multiple ways to atone for your unsavory ways. Pay to fine is the most straightforward if you have the coin. Accepting punishment, finessing the guard, or running away are the other options. The punishments go from mild in the form of the pillory, corporal punishment in the form of caning, branding, or if unlucky enough to get caught for a heinous act after being branded, execution. Here though, Henry opts to pay a hefty fine.
Alright, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Good. You don't have anything else on you that doesn't belong to you. In that case, an indulgence will suffice. Now, be on your way.
We already know that Savior Snaps is going to be a thing, so we have to make that little investment to save just like in the first game. It will be more accessible to obtain the Savior Snaps in the early game, however. All kidding aside though, if you read the text below that picture, you will notice that you can wash your clothes in designated areas, so you don't have to go to a bathhouse to do it, which I really like. Because going to a bathhouse costs you groschen. And sometimes you just want to be cheap and do it yourself. I do hope, however, that Henry stays a lot cleaner than in the first game. Because in the first game, I had numerous times where I just got out of a bathhouse, I walked 20 feet, and I was dirty again. It's just not my idea of fun. So Warhorse, please. If there's one feature that I would love for you to add, is to just stay clean a little bit longer. Give it a perk or something. Super clean Henry, I guess. Now they also showed the in-game menu where you can find the map, journal, inventory, player crafting, and codex. Interesting things to note here was the addition of the pole arms with their own skill tree. It's been said that you can also disarm opponents when you're unarmed yourself with the right skill set. And Longsword still has the most complex options with 10 combos. The crafting menu has options for swords, longswords, axes, other, potions, poisons, and herbs. Now I hope in future videos that we're going to see the things like blacksmithing and also hunting. I really wonder if we can fish, because that would be one of the great things. Just be sitting back, just fishing, and listening to the sounds of John Volta while you just relax. I would enjoy the heck out of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, hashtag game for the sake of gaming. Please consider subscribing, still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And as always, see you guys on the flip side. Take care.